Hey guys, what's up? Noah the Nintendo Nerd here, and I am back with a updated collection of my PlayStation 2 games. So I know I did one of these back in the beginning of the summer, but a lot has changed with my collection since summer, because I got about maybe 20 or 30 new games. So now when I was looking back at that collection video from like the very beginning of June, I was just like, wow, my collection has updated so much. I have gotten so many more games. So I thought I would give an updated collection video. And I also plan on doing one of these with my Wii U collection at the end of the year to kind of, celebrate, one whole year of Wii U, because it was its first year back in November. So yeah, I know I've gone over some of these games before, so I will not spend too much time on them. And some of these I haven't even played very much. I just played them for 20 minutes and then never went back to them because I had other games I was trying to play. So I'll try not to, ramble on too much, but you might hear me be saying like, oh, it's really fun. It's really good, because I can't remember anything else about it because I didn't play it very long. So yeah, without further ado, let's get started. I put these two together. I have Dark Cloud, a little glare there, sorry, and Dark Cloud 2. So when I was at the pawn store, I was looking, and then they said they had these games. They had like a buy 5 games to get them for $10 or something. So I saw these games and like, holy crap, aren't these games rare? So I looked it up, and this Dark Cloud 2 in particular was more rare, I believe. And I've only played Dark Cloud 1. I played about a good 5 hours of Dark Cloud 1, and it's actually really fun. It's not, I've heard people compare it to Zelda, which I would disagree with. It's a random dungeon crawler. You go through these dungeons and you're fighting enemies, and you have to watch your thirst meter. You need to find water, and then you find parts of this town of your town that was destroyed, and then you slowly rebuild your town. So you'll find someone's house, and then later you'll find the person who lives in that house, and then you'll find other accessories in that house. It's cool, and it's really intriguing, and the music is pretty peaceful as well. The first Devil May Cry, I have not got the second or third yet, but I do want to. I did not play much of this game, but I do know it's from the creators of Resident Evil 2. It was originally planned to be a Resident Evil game. It reminded me a lot of God of War, even though I know this game came before it. And it had the similar, Resident Evil camera styles, kind of the different angles and stuff. It was fun what I've played, but I need to play more of it. I've heard great things about it. And I'll show these three together. Yeah, okay. Final Fantasy X, Final Fantasy X-2, and Final Fantasy XII. So before I actually get into detail, I've played a lot of Final Fantasy X. I'm at the very end of the game. Haven't touched Final Fantasy X-2, and didn't even get through the tutorial in Final Fantasy XII. I've always liked the Final Fantasy series, but I've never really loved it like some people do. And I think I really started to love it once I started playing Final Fantasy X. This game is amazing. I did not think I'd get into... I never thought role-playing games, other than Pokemon or Earthbound, I didn't think they were for me. But this game showed me, yes, I do love role-playing games. And it's so addicting and a lot of fun. Really, really well made. And I can see why people love the series so much. And, Final Fantasy X-2 is just more of that. I'd suspect a little different because it's an all-girl cast. And Final Fantasy XII is supposed to change that entirely with it's all no more random battle system, no turn-based or anything. It's real-time, kind of an action RPG, which sounds cool. I just need to play more of it. But these are, even though I haven't played much of the other two, I can just tell you, these are must-haves on the PS2. And then the spin-off Final Fantasy game, Dirge of Cerberus Final Fantasy VII. Did not play much of this one, but this is not your average Final Fantasy game. This is a third-person shooter with I think his name's Vincent Valentine. I have not played much of Final Fantasy VII. I'm sorry. I know I should. I know that's a pretty big deal, but I haven't played it yet. I just popped this in and kind of fooled around with it for a bit, and it was interesting, I guess. I don't know if it'll take its, it's unique, but will it stay that unique throughout the entire game? I don't know. Haven't played enough yet. And I don't have a case for this game, but Cabela's Dangerous Hunts 2. My uncles used to have this, and I just found it laying at our cabin, so I just took it home. I played a little bit of this when I was a little kid. It's hunting. Can't say much else. Next, God of War. Sorry for that glare. I don't think I can really fix that too much. God of War and God of War 2. I had this in the last collection update, but then I got this one over the summer, and I have not played much of it. Maybe about like 30 minutes. But these games surprised me. I thought they would be taking their Greek mythology a lot more seriously, but it's a lot more, kind of like a comic book sort of feel. It's not bad at all. I can see why people love these games so much. A lot of fun, just hack and slash, gory action, and it's all really, really good. Eco. I cannot really explain. This is one of my favorite games of all time, and it's really hard to explain that, but I am going to try in a review. If I try to explain it now, I would not do a good job, and it would take forever. But this is one of my favorite games of all. I think it's one of the best games ever made, and I shall go into more detail in a review. Jak and Daxter, the Precursor Legacy, and Jak 2. So I think I had both of these last time, and God, that glare. I had both of these last time, and I played a tiny bit of Jak 2, but my opinion is still the same. It really reminds me of Banjo-Kazooie on the PlayStation, and that's not a bad thing. Naughty Dog is amazing, and it's really fun platforming. I just need to play them, and actually I just need to sit down on a weekend and just play through them. That's all I need to do. Then I need to get the third one as well. I think they have a couple other ones as well. Kingdom Hearts 2, and Kingdom Hearts Rechain of Memories. Kingdom Hearts is one of my favorite game series of all time. Kingdom Hearts 2 is one of my favorite games of all time. I love this series to death. I am a hardcore Disney fan. And, seeing all these different worlds combined with Square Enix in an action RPG, and I can understand why some people don't like the series, but for me, it's just amazing. And it has some of the best music I've ever heard in the game series. Really, really amazing games, and at least these two are must-haves. But you can get these two in a remix collection on the PS3, and they'll be having a second version pretty soon. For the I think it's number 2. I think they're gonna have Birth by Sleep on there as well. For the PlayStation Portable. Lego Batman, the video game. I got this for like $2 in like August, and I've always liked the Lego games. I had this version of the game on the DS, but it's kind of a different experience. So I wanted to get this one, and I mean, it's really, all the games are repetitive. It's just putting a different franchise on the game, but I don't know why. But it's just something I like every single one. I'm enjoying every single one. It's not the same, but I just got Lego Lord of the Rings on my iPad, and I've been enjoying that. I've been surprised how well the iPad version of that is. But yeah, this one is really fun, and I have not played the sequel yet, but I hear it's really good. Then we have Lord of the Rings, The Two Towers. I don't have Return of the King yet. I'm a huge Tolkien fan, huge Lord of the Rings fan. And these games, I'm just so glad that these games actually turned out good. These are good, hack and slash, playing through different stages, and it even kind of combines the Fellowship of the Ring levels, because they didn't make this kind of game for Fellowship of the Ring. I think a different developer took on Fellowship of the Ring when that came out, but they're really, really good. And there's a lot of like extra content, like interviews with the cast, because all the cast provided their voice for this, which is really nice and something you don't see nowadays. Okay, I know one of these is a PlayStation game, but it's just I just want to show the trilogy. It'd be weird just showing for the two of them. Metal Gear Solid, and I have it in a PS2 case, so if that means anything, from the trilogy collection. Metal Gear Solid 2, Sons of Liberty, and Metal Gear Solid 3, Snake Eater. Oh my god, I cannot believe I got into this series so late. These games are absolutely amazing. The only one I've beaten is Metal Gear Solid 3. I'm close to the, I think I'm at like the middle of disc 2 of Metal Gear Solid. And then I've not played much of Metal Gear Solid 2, but these games are amazing, so good. I mean, I consider this one of my favorite games of all time. It's that good. The stealth, I love stealth gameplay. Ever since I played Arkham City, I was like, oh my god, I love stealth games, because I'd always take the stealth route when they give you the option. And this is all about stealth, and even more than Arkham is. So I just fell in love with it, and it's just amazing, and I cannot wait to play more of the series. Prince of Persia: The Sands of Time. I hear amazing things about this one. I've only played about 15 minutes, but what I've played, it was pretty fun. Kind of reminded me of Assassin's Creed in a way, and I think they might have gone on record and saying that this game kind of inspired Assassin's Creed, something like that. I'm not sure, but yeah, I'm sure it's really, really amazing, but I have not played much of it, so all I can say is that it was fun. Ratchet and Clank. Ratchet and Clank 2 Going Commando. And Ratchet and Clank Up Your Arsenal. I love the Ratchet and Clank games. I think this was the same in my last collection, but I have not played Up Your Arsenal, and I hear that's like the best one of the trilogy. But I've not played it yet because I've not beat Going Commando, because Going Commando is hard. But these games are so much fun. Collecting all the different weapons and just blasting the hell out of the enemies and receiving the different joints or screws or whatever. It's just so satisfying and so much fun. And the humor is something you don't really see in different, kind of kid-friendly franchises nowadays. It's kind of, borderline, sort of. I mean, I think with one of these they actually swear on it. Yeah, like you see, like you don't see that sort of stuff on a kid's game normally. They are rated teen, but you know what I mean. Resident Evil 4. I did a review on this game last month. That kind of sums up my thoughts. This game is a masterpiece, and maybe I'll have a link to it here or something like that, or in the description below. You can see my thoughts on that game, but this is a must-have on whatever system you can find it on. You need to have it. The Simpsons Road Rage. I guess technically this game is not good, but I just remember playing this game as a kid at a friend's house, and it was just a lot of fun, and mostly the dialogue. The dialogue is what makes me, come back to it. I mean, the PS2 version specifically came in early of the PS2's lifetime. There's long loading screens, and it does not look very pretty at all. It looks kind of like an N64 game, to be honest. But it's the humor. I mean, the Simpsons writers wrote the dialogue, and it doesn't repeat itself too much. Or even when it does repeat itself, it's still funny because it's Simpsons. So that's why I like this game. I got this I rebought it for like 99 cents. Sly Cooper and the Thievius Raccoonus, and Sly 2 Band of Thieves, and I still have not gotten Sly 3 Among Thieves. So these guys are so much fun, and I've played a good chunk of 2 as well, even though I have not beaten the first one. It's a little stealthy, but it's still cartoony. I really love it. Sonic Heroes. This version of the game, the PS2 version, is horrible, but I literally got this for $1, so I said, why not? On other versions, it's a good game. I remember playing as a kid on the GameCube. It is a fun game, but on the PS2, it's horrible. Don't get the PS2 version, don't. Then we also have Sonic Riders Zero Gravity, which I actually enjoyed. Most people don't like it, but I do have fond memories of it, sort of. It's not a game. It's like you don't play it for a year and you try to play it again, and you have no idea what you're doing because the controls are pretty specific. It's not an easy racing game, but the music is amazing, and the courses are pretty fun as well. So I think there's a Wii version. Maybe the Wii version is the best one. I don't know. Shadow of the Colossus. Again, like Eco, this is made from the same developer. It's kind of hard to explain why this game is so amazing, but it is one of my favorite games of all time. How many times have I said that in this video? The PlayStation 2 has a lot of one of my favorite games of all time. If video games are going to be considered art, this would be the best example. This game is beautiful, amazing, and then I'm going to do a review on it, and if you don't know already, you'll see why this game is amazing. Spider-Man 2. Another, like Lord of the Rings, is so rare to have a good licensed game. But this is like Grand Theft Auto meets Spider-Man. and it's a lot of fun. I remember playing as a kid, and then I found it this summer at a store, and I was like, I gotta rebuy this, and I don't regret it because it still holds up pretty well today. Really fun. Splinter Cell, the first one. I haven't played much of this, but I got it because I've heard good things about the series, and I think actually the day I got this was the day that Splinter Cell I think Blacklist, is that what it's called, the new one? I got it the same day that came out, so I was hearing about how good Blacklist was, and I saw this for really like $2, so I was like, well, I might as well try this one out. And it says stealth on there, and as you heard from Metal Gear Solid, I love stealth games, so why not? Star Wars Battlefront 2. I have this on a PC, but I rebought it because this is a huge game from my childhood. Whenever I would go over to friends' houses, we would play this game all night. It is the closest thing Star Wars will probably ever get to Call of Duty. It's just a little different, like you're capturing people's command posts and stuff like that. It's a lot, and you can play as Jedi in this one. It is a really, really fun. And as a kid, it's kind of mind-blowing to be able to have so many options and just going to war in the Star Wars universe. It's a lot of fun. And finally, I don't have a case for this one. And I have not played much of it either. X-Men Legends. I played maybe 15 minutes. It's kind of like, it's a top-down. It reminded me of a classic, superhero arcade game you'd find, at movie theaters and stuff. It seemed pretty fun. I can't tell you too much about it, but it seemed cool. And yeah, that is my PlayStation 2 collection. I'm still working on it. There's a few games I still need to have, like the third games, like the Jak and Daxter and Sly Cooper and some other ones, but if I'm not content with my collection yet, but I think I'm pretty proud of it as of now. The PlayStation 2 is without a doubt one of my favorite systems of all time. They have some of the greatest games ever made, as you can see from my collection. And yeah, if you don't own a PlayStation 2, you really need to fix that. Everybody needs to be able to at least play the PlayStation 2 once. It is an amazing, amazing system, and they don't really make games like they do nowadays, and they don't. Excuse me, I butchered that. They don't make games like they did on the PS2 nowadays. Not as much, and it's kind of sad, but again, that's what makes the PlayStation 2 so special, and that's why I love it so much. So yeah, that's about it. I'll be having a review up soon. I've really been slacking on the reviews. I'll have a review up soon. If you're new to my channel and like what you saw here, you can click that subscribe button down below. Have I even said it in a video yet? I know I've said it on Twitter, but thank you guys so much for 2,000 subscribers. I passed 2,000 a month ago, and that is amazing. I cannot believe it's been 4 or 5 years on YouTube, and I'm already past that. That is really, really amazing. You can follow me on Twitter, and you'll find the links to that at the end of the video and in the description for finding out what videos I'm making or what games I'm playing. Just what I'm up to. I'm on Twitter all the time, so you can talk to me on there as well. I always respond. So yeah, that's about it, you guys. And just make sure to like and comment. Any games that you think I should add to my collection, I'm always open to suggestions. So yeah, that's about it. And until next time, you guys, take it easy.